Hello, my name is Antonio Keon and I'm here today to talk to you about how you can work with your community to improve our urban forest here in Toronto. The urban forest, all the trees you see around you, helps to reduce carbon emissions and improve air quality by taking up and storing pollutants. In fact, urban trees store 15 times more CO2 than trees in forests. Having trees around also significantly reduces heating and cooling costs and can increase property value by about 15 to 20%. Because of all these benefits and many more, we must work together to help improve the condition of the urban canopy that protects us. Planting trees is the simplest way to improving your community. However, when planting new trees, it's important to be strategic. Remember, it takes years for trees to reach maturity. Before planting, assess the conditions of your yard, including light, soil type, moisture, and available soft ground surface. Find a tree that will thrive under your site's specific conditions. Look into other trees that have flourished in your neighborhood. Those are usually the native trees that you want to be planting. Once you've planted your trees, it's important to protect the trees as they mature. There are a number of ways you can do this. First, be sure to take care of the trees during construction. You can fence off a large area around the tree to make sure that it doesn't get damaged during the process. You should also protect the tree's bark. Damage to the bark can open up wounds, leaving the tree vulnerable to invasions of pests and disease. When pruning is required, it must be done correctly. Pruning large trees can be dangerous, so if you're going to be pruning branches above head level, be sure to consult a certified arborist. The third major thing you can do to keep your tree healthy is to preserve space for the tree. If water and oxygen are prevented from reaching the tree's roots due to paving or other hard surfaces, the tree won't be able to receive the moisture and oxygen needed for healthy growth. You should also limit the amount of grass around the tree, as it will compete with the tree for water, reducing the amount of nutrients the tree receives. Don't forget to maintain soft ground surfaces in order to preserve space for future trees to be planted. The City of Toronto provides support in planting and maintaining the city-owned portion of your front yard. For more information, you can contact the city directly by calling 416-338-TREE. Local Enhancement and Appreciation of Forests, also known as LEAF, is a non-profit organization offering individuals and community groups practical ways to become active in preserving our trees. LEAF also has a backyard tree planting program, which includes a tree, a consultation with a certified arborist, and detailed tree care instructions to ensure that trees planted on private property are properly planted and maintained.
Perfect example of how you should plant a tree. Plant a beautiful garden around it because it forces you to water. And if you water your plants, you water the tree, it'll love it and it'll survive.
If you're interested in learning more about trees in our city, you can participate in a Toronto Tree Tour, where you'll hear stories of the urban forest and the people and places it sustains.
These Norways are all near the end of their lives. They would have been planted at the turn of the last century when the houses were built. They have a lifespan of 100 to 150 years, and they're nearing the end of their lives. And you can see that. If you look closely at their canopies, there's a lot of examples of decline. And if you just look to the tree, 2 trees down there, you can see what happens when a mature tree like a Norway maple gets old. You do have large branches that could fall. The tree could become structurally unsound, and it's time to replace those.
In order to bring your community together around tree maintenance, there are certain steps you need to follow in making this happen. First, you need to form a group of people who are interested in working on tree issues in your community. Next, you should meet with your neighborhood city forestry supervisor to assess your community's needs. Once you know what needs to be done, it's important to set your goals for what's realistic both in the short and the long term. Work with local schools to encourage youth involvement. And care for the trees once they've been planted by following the 3 Ps of healthy trees: planting, protection, and prevention. Although the city provides support, they can only do so for the land that is public. An estimated 80 to 90% of trees are on private property. That's why it's so important for us to come together and take tree maintenance into our own hands. Work with your community to protect Toronto's urban forest.